You have a chair that rises though.
I don't need to.
Alright, we're here now. Fully in
It's the Gentlemen's Club Podcast, episode 5. 5.
We got some fucking white lights, some bright white lights.
We got some new lights on set for you guys. We
got
want you to
Mega
see
Man
us.
X in the back.
And we also promised Naruto.
And Naruto.
So you can also see Naruto in the back.
I don't know what we're gonna do first.
I was thinking I'm just gonna imprint them both over each other.
Nice. We'll see how that works out. But for sure, there's gonna be a Mega Man and Naruto at the same time.
We're all excited to see what happens here.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Like, I didn't know what version of Sonic we were gonna use for the last one, but we used
The old classic
the
one.
classic Sonic.
The
Yeah,
one I remember on the computer and stuff.
yeah. Is that the Dreamcast one? Like the same days, like around there?
I wouldn't know. I think that was the old like Sonic on
It's like 98.
something, dude. That was ancient though. You know what game I looked into the other day I wanted to play?
What?
Not to interrupt you here.
No, you're good.
Space Cadet.
Never.
Pinball.
Oh, the pinball. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say I don't know what that is, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like the OG Windows pinball.
The old one, when you didn't know if you had any games.
And you're just like, this is it. This and Solitaire. It's all I got.
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper too.
I'm super good at Minesweeper.
Never fucked with it.
It's really easy.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I played a couple times and I know how to play it, but it's just...
Minesweeper is like proof that people will always make mistakes. Because it's simple as this, you see a tile and it's telling you how many bombs are touching it.
Mm-hmm.
And you still will blow up and you'll be like, why did I, like, what the heck was that? Like, so you know when you mess up. It's very, how did you do that kind of status?
Yeah. Fucking Minesweeper, man.
Minesweeper.
But yeah, the cadet
Space Cadet, pinball.
Pinball, yeah, that's what it's called. That shit, I love that shit. Like the actual physical pinball is much funner though.
Really?
Yes. Have you never played?
I've played some serious pinball.
Like with the little spring.
Do you remember the roller rink when we were kids in Stockton?
Yes.
That place had all kinds of fun
shit.
arcade games.
That was
Yep.
the shit.
Play the whole
The
time.
bowling alley even had better ones too, better arcade games before.
Bowling alley. Pacific
Pacific
or
Bowl.
West?
Or Pacific Bowl.
Pacific Bowl was pretty tight. There's also West Lane Bowl.
I've been to
too.
West Lane before,
Yeah.
but it's been a while since. And now he lives a completely different state.
I don't even know where the bowling alley is out here.
I don't even know. There's a rock climbing place down the street. Though.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like indoor, and I seen them doing it at like
Alright.
9 or something like that.
That's pretty tight.
That's cool.
It's good exercise.
Yeah. Just like the bike, fucking that shit's insane. I love
That's
it.
right.
I've been riding bikes my bike recently.
You've been
Sold
getting
my
into
car, and now I ride a bike basically.
They help the earth, right?
That's not why, but it does. I do like it more though. It's way more fun. Driving's a fucking pain. Riding my bike feels like it's like a mission. It's cooler.
It definitely is like nostalgic.
Unless I'm going like 20 miles.
Or the weather's bad is what I was gonna say.
Yeah. We have a car still though, so when it's not calling for it, I'm not crazy.
Well, we got some questions that we prepared for you guys.
Before we go into those, I'm gonna ask you a different question that I just came up with right now.
Oh.
Oh.
Spontaneous.
If you can go to any of our solar system planets, which one would you go to? Moons included.
Go to Mars just to piss off Elon.
I'm here first, bitch.
I made it, and it sucks.
I made it and it sucks.
I don't recommend it. I would tell everyone just, Mars, get out of here. I'd tell them, why are you going to that husk of a planet when we got a beautiful one right here we're not taking care of?
That's very true. Mars.
Screw
You picked the
Mars.
worst one just for that, though.
Yeah, just to show Elon it's not that all what it's hyped up to be.
It's a waste, David.
I think it's a waste to put all these resources to go to Mars.
I'm halfway agreeing with that.
It's a lot of resources to go to a place that does not need us there.
No, it doesn't. But we suck so much. I do think that I understand why he thinks that we need to place people somewhere else.
Maybe someone could explain this to me if we get like someone who's highly educated on it. But my perspective is, why would we take all of the resources from here to terraform there
Because our government runs here.
Are we gonna make water? Are we gonna find like a moisture collector?
There's water underground.
So are we gonna take mining equipment and dig wells and
take
Mars?
a lot.
It just seems like
Absorbing
a lot
them
extra
out.
considering we have a planet already.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I know what you're saying. But Elon Musk could control his own Mars government, but you can't control this one.
It kind of feels like we're trying to lease a new car to avoid getting an oil change on our car right now.
That's exactly what it is, but at least you have a car.
But at least you have a car.
Because if the Earth blows up, or if we blow it up, then at least there's
That's
humans somewhere else. Yeah, of course. That's why he wants to do it. If it was going good, I don't think he would want to go to Mars.
Yeah, Mars isn't going good.
No, Mars has never been good. Not for a while.
Not for as far as I remember.
Supposedly, they said like billions of years ago. That's crazy. I don't even think about billions of years.
That's long gone now.
Long gone. There's no. I don't even think.
Where would you go? You can go anywhere.
Saturn.
Why Saturn?
Because it looks cool.
Is Saturn made out of gas, or is it even?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go on it. I just want to see it from the outside.
You just gotta like fly by it.
Like be in a spaceship, look at it from the outside.
I like that. I can live with that.
Because everywhere here besides our planet sucks ass.
Yeah, I wouldn't see myself vacationing anywhere.
There's no point, unless it's sightseeing. That's the only reason why. Because I mean, like, you're either just going to space and just seeing space. That's cool enough. But if you want to see a planet, Saturn's the coolest planet to see, for a fact. At least I would think so.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of neat planets.
Maybe Jupiter because it's so huge.
But that one, I feel like you just get over it quick. You just be like, wow, that is big.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Saturn, you see the rings.
Maybe I'm hard to impress.
Dude, I don't know. If you were out there, you wouldn't even believe it. So
maybe if I went out there, I'd just be like, this is.
Have you seen the stars with the Milky Way and stuff like so where it's so clear?
I've seen like satellite photos and stuff. Like,
no, I'm just saying in person. Like, have you seen like?
Oh yeah, my mom's house. She lives on a farm. You can see
the
stars. I've never seen a Milky Way or anything like that, but I've seen the stars.
It's even crazier, trust me. When you're able to see the Milky Way, there's so many stars. It's like.
Yeah.
Like even okay, I have an idea what it would probably look like at your mom's house because we used to. I mean, out there you can go camping.
It's just like Comanche.
We're right to yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. That amount of stars is probably like 1,000 stars or something. It's really nice still. Like you can still see stars everywhere you look. But when the Milky Way is out, you see the gas, like the white thing, and there's so many stars that it just looks like.
The Milky Ways are galaxy though.
It's a galaxy, I know. But I mean, you can see the fucking. You can see
see bullshit up there.
Like you can see the stream because we're supposedly horizontal to it, so you can, like we're seeing it from side view rather than top view, so you can see the whole chunk of stars that are like right there, and it's like a stream of stars, and there's hell stars everywhere, and you see fucking meteors flying by the whole time, like it's insane. I've seen it before. It's crazy. Because I went camping in big trees.
Yeah, and it's that crazy out there, huh?
Yeah, there's no moon. The moon is the same thing.
Oh, it's light pollution. Yeah.
So when there's nothing, it's fucking crazy.
That's intense. I
it's
do that.
So crazy. Like you need to see it. It's so intense.
Put it on the bucket list.
But yeah, so that's why I don't know. Okay, what do you think about the people saying that space is fake?
I've never seen space in person.
But how, if you had a percentage, like, what percentage of space being real, what is it for you? What is
99% real.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't have a lot of doubt.
1%.
I always think, like, there's nothing wrong with shedding doubt on certain ideas.
Yeah.
But also, it's just like...
But these people are 100% space is fake. Because
they can't be 100% sure that space is fake any more sure than someone can be 100% sure it's real.
Either the 99% space is fake is still ridiculous.
I would recommend going to your local university and learning.
Yeah, I mean...
Finding a book in the library and opening it up. And if you're going to claim that every book in the library is wrong, then you fucking start developing a test.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it's like, don't just sit there and just tell everyone that
that's
you feel
true,
a certain way because you feel it.
Some of these people go so insane, like, I don't know. Because they're... Okay, look. Oof. The only way you can really tell if space is fake or not is if you go. But nobody besides Elon Musk has the power to go to space.
Well, here's what you have to understand about like a person with like a mental delusion. Like you could feel very strongly about that issue, But at the end of the day, it's not going to change your job. It's not going to change your family. It's not going to change your place in the world. It's
true.
just some random thing that, whether you're right or wrong, is inherently irrelevant to your life. So you shouldn't let something like that affect you to the degree of losing friendships or going. I remember I knew a flat Earth guy who would go on Facebook and people would troll him and he would go and comment on their stuff. And the whole thing was just goofy, and any of them felt so strongly about something so stupid anyway.
So stupid. Yeah, exactly. And it goes back to the not even having power to go to space. So why even care? It's not like, okay, it's not like somebody was like, hey man, go to space or you're dead. And you're like, space is fake, I can't go.
Right.
No, that's not happening.
And even if you wanted to be like, well, we're just trying to prove that the government had lies
about everything.
It's like, no, who doesn't believe that?
And what about the fucking people that like follow the stars and shit to get places before cell phones? Before
Right.
Maps.
Right. And you can go outside and look at stars and you can see them adjust position.
And they're the same
time.
stars that they were seeing too. So I mean, like, if the government made this shit, they've been around since humans were
before
here.
the government was even around. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like, that's that 1% where I guess maybe I'll give it 1%.
Even to go into deep conspiracy, I believe even if you did have all of the world's like elite or whatever, like if there was like an Illuminati, they could still meet up, but I don't think they're as organized when people put them on to be.
I would think they're still pretty stupid when it comes to
I think there would still be just people with the money.
And people trying to get over each other.
Trying to get over each other, and I don't think it would be as organized as people put it on to be, where it's like all these puppet masters. I think they would all be.
I think they give government too much credit. They can't even handle this. So how do you expect them to handle a space fake scandal?
Yeah, that's pretty extra.
Once you see a rock fly from space, you're gonna be like, that was the government. No.
Even like the moon landing is fake is a pretty heavy conspiracy theory, but that's not saying space is fake.
Yeah, no, yeah. See, with the moon landing being fake, okay, the one that they air to TVs and stuff, I give that like a 60-40, and 60 me believing it just because I have faith in NASA. But dude, the government was fucked back then. Like, they did some crazy shit. So I understand them trying to say that they got to the moon first before Russia. I know we've gone to the moon. I don't know. It's more on the 99 for the going to the moon in general. Do you know how we had other moon missions besides that one? Like, or maybe even they went, but it was after. Who even knows?
See, that's just the thing, is I had a teacher in high school who actually was on like the moon.
The mission?
Lunar mission or whatever.
Dude, yeah, there's a lot of people.
But and it was, I guess it was so old. It was like before they had calculators. So everything was hand calculated and stuff. Like, it was a real feat. So the whole thing was just like a giant nightmare, right?
Exactly.
But
people are really smart, man. So I give them.
So it's like, for me, it's like that's crazy to me, but it's also not like the craziest.
No, I mean
thing.
We made guns, man.
And guns are funny to me because they're so non-electronic.
Yeah, imagine making a giant bullet. That's basically what rockets are. So I mean, like, that's just what exactly. I believe it. I know that we did and stuff, but I just don't know about the ones that people watch.
You know what interests me?
Because people say that they seen them on strings and shit. Like, maybe they fucked up. Like, they didn't record it. Because how are you gonna get a transmission from there when you don't have a calculator? They probably have to remake it, reenact it, something. So like, dude.
I'm trying to think about exactly what you're just saying. Like, how would you communicate?
How would you do anything? It doesn't even make sense.
That's crazy.
Making a camera that can even survive that doesn't even make sense to me.
It's a weird thing to think people even go out that far.
For no reason.
What's the point of having a person go there? What's the advantage?
There's no advantage. It's just that what they say at least is the whole Russia thing. Like, they wanted to.
It was a space race, yeah.
Prove dominance, you know. Like, we can make a rocket that could go to the moon, so it can nuke you in 5 seconds if we wanted.
Because Russia got there. Russia got to space first.
Yeah, and then we're like, no,
we'll get to the moon.
You guys
first.
got cool rockets. We got cooler rockets. Like, it's just rocket fucking shit, man. I mean, it makes sense that they did it, I guess, but I mean, and I'm just a space nerd. I like it though. That's the only reason why. It's like, okay, other people that like space a lot, they're like, yeah, we want to do this. Yeah. And once the government thinks it's a reason that they should do it, they'll do it. And then until people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos are like, hey man, we like space, so we're gonna use it to make more money. You can't do anything anymore.
What would be profitable to like the government in space? So
asteroid mining.
Well, what does asteroid mining lead to? Are you gonna try to discover something new that we haven't seen before? Are you just trying to find?
Not seen before, but there's material and minerals and stuff that we don't have on the planet, and elements, and that they can find on asteroids.
Right.
That they would need, like the.
So maybe it's the same element, different isotope that we didn't know about, or different forms.
Even different isotopes too. I mean, just the element itself, like the 115 thing. Like they know that's a real element. We just don't have it on our planet a lot, but.
Well, there's another thing too. A lot of elements you can make in a lab, but you can't have.
But you need so much power, so much energy to make it, and that's true too. Yeah. But I mean, if you can make it inside of a reactor or something, that means it's possible that's made in stars and stuff. And we just don't know.
You know what's interesting is there's a lot of different life that can exist off
different
non-carbon based shit. Like there's arsenic based life forms. Like there's worms that live deep in the cracks of the oceans.
The whole time. Like when they were saying that there can't be life on the other planets in our solar system because we couldn't survive there. That doesn't even make sense.
They would need to be a carbon based.
Yeah, but I mean like
there's other life forms that are getting proven now that aren't carbon based.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I mean they can't. I'm almost positive that it's at least like insects or something or like microbes.
You know what's interesting too is if you think about it, the deepest part of the ocean has an enormous amount of pressure from the weight of the water pushing on things, like crushing it, right?
Yeah.
And so the animals down there's no light and stuff, so it's like a different kind of thing.
Their exoskeletons are weird.
If you look at like space is like the exact opposite. Space is where there's pressure from. There's so little outside that it's pulling you apart. But it's an interesting concept that's like it also has like there's no light out there. It's a lack of things. It's a real hard concept for people to understand. Even that concept that there's not anything there.
Even
there's no air. There's nothing. It's
literally
empty,
nothing. Yeah. It's just like the faint energy charge from everything else. That's taking like the energy from the sun takes like fucking like 1 billion years to get out there or whatever, and that's literally the only.
Well, electromagnetic energy over time,
charging.
It dissipates, but there's different forms of energy you see and feel. So like at the highest level, it's like UV or like X-ray. Let's say X-ray is like really high energy, right? And then it starts going down to like ultraviolet. Or what would it be? I'm terrible about this.
We're not doctors.
I'm terrible about this, but it's ultraviolet and I'm drinking too a lot. Ultraviolet and
Google Masters.
It's everyone knows this. IR, what is it? The infrared.
Infrared, yeah.
There we go. So those are all different like levels of energy, and then the colors that we see are one of the spectrums.
The spectrum.
It all comes from the photons. It's like electrons that are moving through cycles, and so basically the lowest form of energy is heat. Mm-hmm. So in space, like if you
the heat's gone.
Heat's like the lowest form of energy that you can get. That's like the lowest form of radiation.
It's the same shit as like the cosmic microwave background shit. That's the shit I'm talking about. So I mean like that's basically nothing. So when you're out there like you were saying, it's like literally like nothing. It's weird. So I'm saying.
It's a weird concept.
Besides rocks and black holes floating every now and then.
Part of it too, what you gotta understand is, or I guess what you gotta not understand, is there's things that we just don't grasp. Our brains are just not meant to think about certain things.
The fact that we're our highest dimension is 3D, so that's already the craziest.
Kind of to tie it back in, it's weird. Do you ever think about how music is such a random phenomenon?
Oh yeah, it's like something else.
We're so lucky we have something that sounds pleasurable.
I think it taps into something else, like a different, I wouldn't even say dimension or something, but like a different sense that we don't understand fully. We have our 5 senses or whatever.
Exactly, right.
It's like a
sixth sense.
Yeah, so with the rhythm and stuff, and like the sound waves, like like with the light, the different light radiations and shit. The way that the sound carries through air is basically the same thing, because higher pitches are faster, they're smaller, and then lower pitches are like.
Have you seen? Someone puts a speaker up on a plate, and they'll put like salt or sand or it's like a fine particle, and then the vibrations will actually vibrate
the sand into different
places. Yeah, that is so crazy.
Exactly,
right?
Shit like that.
See, so and I saw this on Joe Rogan podcast, so we're kind of stealing podcast.
Dude, everybody that does I was seeing if the camera was still.
Every 30 minutes turns off.
The mic was still on. No, I could tell the camera because the red dot.
But it was on the Joe Rogan thing. They brought that up, and I had done that experiment in high school and like physics and stuff just for fun. I brought in a big bass speaker and I tried it out.
How do you like this one?
I actually really like this one. It's like passion fruit flavor. Ooh, you had an explosion. Dude.
That was the can cummed on me.
The can cummed. Whoa. Anyways, it's like think about that. If the sound frequencies do that to salt, I know pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. If it does that to salt, where it has all these patterns and shapes in the salt, it has to do that something to our bodies.
Oh yeah, to our skin, everything.
And that was just.
That's very
just
true.
Sine waves. That's not accumulations of noise.
That's even crazier than that. That's basically what I was saying, but you put it in like a visual thing.
A visual tense of it. It has some sort of effect on us.
Yeah, because I mean, like when you listen to it in a car, when you're thinking about the fucking crazy BMWs with the 12-way speakers and shit, and then you turn it up a little bit more. You have the sub.
All right.
So you get everything.
Here's another interesting thing. This is my personal experience. When we did that experiment in our classroom, that
was weird, David. We said experience at the exact same time. Experience. But keep going.
So basically, we had to turn up the volume super damn loud. Like, on the video, they never put volume because of how loud it is.
Oh, shit.
You have to put it extremely loud. So that's something I also think about concerts.
That's true.
Is you hear it at such a loud
concerts
volume.
Are a visceral experience.
If it wasn't for the volume, I don't think it would work the same.
No, not at all. Dude, okay, imagine if it was like... Yeah, like there were no big speakers in the venue, so it was like, you're in a big venue. What we did... Were you there? No, you weren't.
Imagine a club where there's a bunch of small speakers around the club, like the whole club, a bunch of tiny small ones.
Or even not even speakers at all, is what I was going to say. It's just amps, and the vocals are probably coming out of like this, like you said, okay, I guess there would have to be small, really small ones.
We played at that one coffee shop
See,
way back in the day, before Bigger Show, as the practice show. It was the Blackwater Cafe when we brought it up. We brought it last podcast too. That one, they had tiny ass speakers.
Yeah, okay, look. See, I brought mine also.
If it was for that, we'd be...
Fuck, yeah, but, not even that. That's a small venue. I mean, I'm talking about, like, we were playing in a ballroom before, and they only had the small monitors on the top, so there's no low end. And, there were no mic cabs, and the place was pretty big, like, where you needed mic stuff.
Yeah.
And you needed subs. And it was so weak.
It just makes it not fun.
Yeah, that's like, if you played like that in a living room like we did, it's fine, because the drums are too loud for a living room.
Everything is competing with the drums.
Yeah, you're just like, that shit's crazy, like, it's already too loud. But when you're somewhere where there's like, air can dissipate everywhere, shit out of luck, dude. That's like playing outside and having Gabe scream to the air.
Since I was like 18, our dream was to always be in a band where we had a traveling PA system. No one had to worry about any amps or cabs or anything. It was just one fat ass PA system and all of our instruments.
Like we could bring like a big rig with us.
Just that would be a dream, dude. You could live in a big rig. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I've seen our buddy Donovan hit up California RV Specialists. He'll have to hook us up because I would definitely really enjoy taking a long ass tour. Taking
the big rig is nothing
off on a nice big RV.
Yeah. Oh, or the RVs, yeah.
Or the big RVs are nice. I've actually seen the big rig
They're
RVs.
So expensive though. An RV's crazy.
You know, RVs are so expensive, but the thing is, you save money every night on not having a hotel. Yeah, so if you could find a place to go where you need to go, like if every step of the journey is necessary, it makes sense.
Okay, but look, would you rather have a big rig truck or an RV? Because they cost about the same. Like,
no way.
Dude, an RV is like what, 50 grand? 100 grand even?
I was gonna say like a really nice one would be like 100, but a big rig's like 100.
Exactly, that's the thing. That's what I just said. So I mean, the big rigs don't have bathrooms, no, but you can tow anything, and they last way longer. So it's like the RVs.
Big rigs do last a long time.
They last like a million miles.
A long time, yeah.
Like fucking RV you have to take in for shit all the time.
All the time, seasonally. Yeah, like
seasonal,
3 months. You
exactly.
have to go in and get a new reseal and
Even
stuff.
the diesel ones, like diesel are usually good. It's just
That's true.
This is the fact that it's a house on wheels is what makes it hard.
Alright folks, we're going to stop the video and restart it so we don't have another annoying cut that's unplanned here.
That's true. We'll be back.
And we're back, talking about big rigs.
Talking about big rigs.
Talking about tour. That's realistic coming up.
Okay, we can ask one of these tour questions now.
Oh, good actual.
If you can tour anywhere, what would that be?
Alright, I've heard a story that in Germany, and this could be wrong, but in Germany, you give a band beer instead of like money or like food or whatever.
Whatever the hell it is, yeah.
They give them beer. And I was just thinking how crazy it would be to go across Germany doing beer reviews.
Oh, from the German beer.
Just all kinds of German beer. That would be super cool, right?
This is Hufhafen.
This crazy pronunciations. And just stuff that I would never get to try again. You know, just stuff that's all the way out there.
Hopefully we get a guarantee for pay too.
You know what else would be cool is like if we got to play like a really cool European place like Ireland or something.
Anywhere in Europe, dude.
I know your answer is obvious to this one. You've been talking about this forever.
I thought you were gonna say it too, though.
You know, for me, I feel like it was never as big of a plan for me, but it's something that if I got to do it, I would be any place would be amazing.
Yeah, dude, exactly. I mean, like Germany, fuck yeah, dude. Ireland, fuck yeah. Sweden, hell yeah.
Sweden would be cool if it's
Sweden
the
would
right
be amazing.
weather.
Yeah, oh, what right weather for sure. But yeah, me is Japan. That's what he was talking about.
Japan it's been a long running dream of multiple members of the band here.
It's just such a cool like culture, man, and I'm just like amazingly anime nerd, so I'm going to the conventions and everything while we're there.
On this new album, we have a whole song that's dedicated to like an anime concept, and we actually want to do like an anime video. So we've been reaching out to artists.
Should we tell them the name of the song? They can guess what the anime is after.
Yeah, you were gonna figure it out.
The name of the song is Plus Ultra. You guys are gonna know the anime if you watch anime. If not, too bad. And start watching anime.
And you know what's interesting is it actually has a really in-depth meaning behind that too.
Of course.
You know what Plus Ultra was originally?
What?
Before people in Japan started picking it up?
What?
It was like some
thing?
Spanish ruler's phrase.
Okay.
And then at some point it was like...
And that does mean a lot because Spanish people conquered everything.
Right, they were everywhere. And then before that, it was a part of the Pillars of Hercules. It was like this old like.
Oh, that far back.
It goes way far back. There was a thing where the ruler said at the time, "There is nowhere further," and then Hercules did some crazy stuff, and then he went, "There is something further." But the translation from their language
it's Plus Ultra
was something. There is more is like Plus Ultra. There is. Ultra. So that was the idea, is like to dig deep, and then it became a popular thing in Japanese culture apparently too, and that's kind of...
Because Japanese people are intense, man.
Oh yeah.
Super work hard all the time.
It's an interesting culture.
Fucking Plus Ultra, dude. That's what
Japanese touring Japan would not only be like a dream, but it would be totally realistic. We could make that work.
We can go there as a fucking shitty ass band like we are now, and we'll still have fun.
Find a couple shows.
Beers, you know.
That's it.
People go out there and just have a vacation. We're gonna go there to play in garages.
And, dude, we just go out there, play a couple shows, take the footage of it, and then never...
We'll add some bars. I heard Japanese people like American people. We're an American metal band. They dig it.
If we find another band that's been out there too, that'd be super easy.
Yeah, no, I heard that they really do like they're super hard in American metalcore, especially.
I know a lot of American music's popular in other places, or English.
Yeah. The pop shit, of course. American pop is everywhere. That's why it's called pop, because it's...
I wonder if the screaming translates, because you don't really understand what they're saying sometimes.
They don't understand what the English pop singers
That's what I'm saying.
So we understand what Miley Cyrus is saying?
Doesn't change anything.
Yeah, no, hell no. They just love the, I don't know, somehow it sounds, metal so, like, different in, like, the best ways, every single thing. Because, like, I've never heard the nicest sounding shit and the most, like, terrifying sounding shit at the same time. That's what I meant to say. Because, like, the screaming is so, like, some people are so good to where it's, like, not real sounding, you know? It's like...
Talking about in Japan, or...?
Oh, no, it's screaming. The people that are really good at screaming.
Right.
It's just so, like, crazy. Like, it doesn't even... You wouldn't think a human voice would be able to sound like that and not hurt.
You know, it's funny.
They do it every day, so clearly it doesn't hurt.
And when I was a kid and we were recording some band that I was in high school, Syndetis is the name. Good luck spelling it. And we were doing a session, and he was saying there's a screamer that came in who did a 17-hour day and knocked out like a shitload of an album.
So it wasn't 17 hours because he was shit.
In that one day, no. It was because
he
the dude could go for 17 hours.
Yeah, and he was good the whole time.
He didn't have to end the session. He paid for a day. And the dude was just like, I got paid for an album. It's even hard for singing. But I think with screaming, it's more about the tone. And it's about your ability to keep going.
That's the thing. Once you're really good, the screaming becomes easier than the singing most of the time. Depending on the type of screaming. Because for Gabe does a fry scream, so his are really like, I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's like in there. Instead of yelling.
You could hear his voice is pulling off the scream without being tense.
Yeah, without yelling, basically.
There's no tenseness to it.
He has something
straining going on.
He has a scream, though, that does yell, where he does yell, like literally yells, like he's like screaming, like yelling. And those probably for 2 hours would kill you, but his normal ones are so like compressed, and that's usually how it is most of the time for most people. And then I don't know, the singing, like you're like belting.
Well, what I was gonna say is I feel like there's like a mechanical, physical like wearing down that goes on when you play or when you scream.
Oh, you scream, yeah.
And so I feel like if you just did your hands would wear down. But I feel like you can build your physical self up to a point where you're resting as you're playing.
Exactly, yeah.
Because your ability is higher than what you're doing. But I don't feel like with singing that's necessarily true. I feel like with singing,
depending on how you sing.
If you put enough hours on your voice, your throat will be done. And the rest is just as important as the practice. But you have to practice because you could burn up that useful time with spicy wings.
That's true.
Drinking a bunch of milk, you know what I mean? Like dairy products.
That fucks you up more.
So with all that kind of extra stuff, you can mess up your voice.
That's true. That is
the way I've always known it is like a vocalist who sings has to be, their body runs everything.
Yeah.
If I drink a lot the night before.
Yeah, the fact that Gabe screams and sings, it's insane.
Let me ask you this: if you drank a bunch, the next day do your fingers feel swollen or anything? See, I've kind of felt like that, where I feel like if I drink a lot, like.
Really?
My fingers, I feel like I get more slow or something.
If I'm currently drunk at the same time, I feel like I go faster.
Oh, really? Like you rush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's usually my problem when we play. Like, I can do 3 beers max before we play. I mean, it can't be smashed. It has to be, throughout 2 hours before you play.
I feel like I've drank before shows, but okay, so first off, to be clear, I've never really drank before shows until like the last.
I remember you telling me when.
In Alta Luna, I'd never really done it, and I did remember one time I went in LA, and we had partied like the night before.
That's the worst though.
But it wasn't. I mean, we had stayed up. That was like the worst. That was the worst part. Was staying up.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Oh.
We went from the party.
It makes it way worse though.
Exactly. Well, because we went like super late at night, so I pulled an all-nighter before a show. Yeah. And I was like bad shape, but I did the show fine. It was recorded on video and everything. Like it doesn't look like I'm fucked up. I was like 18 when I did that.
That's so you get more energy.
I wasn't as bad, and now if I did that, I would be like I did do that, and I lost a wireless transmitter for my bass and my water canteen thing.
And I thought I lost mine, but it was in Anthony's bass drum the whole time.
That's right. It was in the bass drum.
Dude, I knew Gabe put it in there. I didn't know Gabe put it in there, but I knew Gabe did something with it
That's right. Your transmitter was in the bass drum.
Yes. I'm like, Gabe, where'd you put it? And he was like, I never had it. I'm like, you stupid, you had it. Like, I gave it to you. And then, like,
he said it in the bass drum?
Gabe did. That's what I'm telling you. I gave it to Gabe.
That's so dumb.
But Gabe said that I didn't give it to him, so I'm like, maybe I didn't.
Why? I don't understand. I can't picture Gabe putting it in the bass drum.
I can.
But why?
Because it's safe in there. Because it was in there the whole time.
You know what? it was extremely safe the entire time.
But the fact that he didn't even remember is the
But he
thing
forgot
that's bad.
Because that's just the thing is, to put it in the bass drum is hilarious.
Yeah, Ali, who would think...
But to forget you put it in the bass drum is even that's just now a critical error.
It wouldn't be hilarious if, like, it would be still, yeah, it would be hilarious. It would only be hilarious if he told me right away, like, hey, I put in the bass drum, I forgot. Like,
It's
at
like
the show.
I had
like, oh, cool.
I had a roommate that moved
no.
out and like moved 5-6 hours away, and he had the only mail key. So we were like, yo, you gotta send us the mail key, put it in a big box, and they'll bring it to the door for us. And he sent it, and then we were like, dude, where the fucking is the mail key? We have bills to pay and stuff. We can't open the mailbox. I went to the guy who, the mail carrier, and our mailbox was packed. And he's trying to stuff the new stuff in there. And I'm just like, hey, dude, I'm the tenant. I could show you license, like whatever, like, is there any way I can get my mail out of here? And he was like, I'm not legally allowed to give anyone their mail in person. So eventually we were just like, dude, did you send the mail key? And he was like, I sent it in an envelope. He sent the only mail key.
And it's in there, and you can't get it out.
Inside the thing.
That's so terrible.
I don't think we ever even fixed it. I think we just gave up on it.
I would.
Yeah, I think we just decided.
Because eventually, if you don't take it out, and then when you move out, they give it back to the post office, and the post office has to send it to your new house.
We just paid the rest of the stuff we could online.
Oh yeah, the bills, that's something else.
You know.
But when it comes to everything else, I don't know. Like, no more Amazon small things, just bigger. Was Amazon yeah, it was. Amazon's been
Amazon was
a
thing.
while.
This was 2014.
Oh, this wasn't long ago. Okay.
No, it wasn't too long ago.
Oh yeah, that's true. You wouldn't be able to be.
This was maybe
like
even 2015, maybe 5 years ago.
We're not old yet. We can't act like we've done things, adult things, back in 2011.
I've seen a bunch of stuff though. I've been all over the place.
Yeah, you've been a lot of places for how young you are, for sure. I've only been to a lot of places in California, like up and down California, and then I've been to here, obviously because we live here, which is Washington, Vancouver, Washington, and only really been to Portland and Oregon. Like Salem, kind of, but I mean everywhere else we just drove by. Like, fuck that. There's just trees out there, and then been to Vegas. So I guess Nevada. If we're talking states. That's it.
New York.
I was born in New York, but I don't really remember. So technically I've been there, but I don't count that. So.
Yeah, it doesn't count if you don't remember.
But yeah, so yeah, it's California, Nevada, and Oregon, and Washington.
It's not too bad.
Better than a lot of people. A lot of people stay in Stockton their whole lives.
I think the stat was something along the lines of like 70% people died 50 miles from where they were born.
Doesn't mean that they haven't been other places though.
Yeah, it means they end up there.
Yeah, that does suck, but still.
It's just funny that you always.
I mean,
go back.
SAC is 50 miles, and I feel like that's where that's where I kind of want to. I'm thinking about buying a house eventually when I do.
Yeah.
Unless I like Japan a lot, which I will.
It's tricky, man. It's tricky. There's a lot of good places out there.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to live anywhere else?
Yeah.
You want to try other places?
I was actually born with a curse.
What is that?
Can't stop moving.
Oh, that's me. I mean, I don't know if I like it or not yet, but I've been like that too.
Like it or not, it is what I am. I don't know what it is, and I remember even my dad was the same way, where he was always.
It wasn't because of you, though, right?
It was not necessarily me, but I will say, I mean, I hate restarting. I never want to restart again.
That's when you were going to school, though.
No, even after that. I mean,
just in general,
leaving big jobs to go somewhere else.
That's true. The job thing is a thing. If you actually like your job, kind of.
I traveled a lot under a sales job.
Yeah.
And I really liked being able to travel, but the travel was too much. And it got so systematic where I could tell, okay, and just to be general here, my sales job was to go to a town that I was assigned to in whatever state that they sent me to. And I would go and find a nice little office building that's affordable. I would start marketing for a job and start bringing in interview candidates to the office. I would just basically find like a little sales crew, and I would build a reputable sales crew, and then I would start going from there. Once I had people who could do sales well, I would start teaching them management stuff, really basic management stuff, and then basically I was pretty much every 2 months I would be relocated to a new city in a new state, and it got to the point where it was really tough to have relationships because you're.
Just of course, yeah.
Like as cool as people are, you're just like.
The 2 month thing is really hard.
Yeah, and then after that, who knows how many people stick along, how many people, because they'll end up hiring people on, and I don't know, it's a crazy business. It's a really crazy business. So I travel a lot like that. Mm-hmm. I told Gracie, though, my girlfriend here, who I love very much, that
Gracie,
the next time I move is going to be for my job.
Okay.
It has to be for like a purpose that's going to make me money.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because if you could fall in love with like somewhere in like the Midwest, like if you moved to like,
dude, I'm thinking Colorado for my next.
Colorado, if
place.
you went to Colorado, you could drop a $250,000 and get a beautiful
house, dude.
Beautiful home, somewhere that you'd laugh about leaving.
Yeah,
and then everywhere, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Everywhere in the country has a grocery store nearby.
Oh yeah,
they all have a gas station nearby.
Dude,
you can live with
anywhere in America is better than like most places in any other country besides like Canada or something, or like
and
Australia.
You have to know
even
who
Australia,
you are.
like
Some people they just love the cities. I never understood when I lived in LA or when I lived in.
No offense to Australians.
Love Australia. I would love to go tour Australia too. Yeah. Australia has some crazy ass people. The bands that come from Australia
are so good.
Amazing.
That's the thing. But besides
you guys are on another planet out there.
It's just, it kind of sucks, one, that your guys' koalas all burned and kangaroos and shit.
What?
Like 2 years ago or something, last year there was a fire that was horrible. Or was it this year?
I don't know. I don't care about your kangaroos or your koalas. I care about those metal fans out there. Sounds pretty metal to me to have koalas on fire. That might be our new single coming out.
That's very true. Koalas on fire. See, Australians even gave to us right now, without us even asking.
Without us even asking Australia.
We just brought them up. Like, I brought them up to talk shit, and then I ended up being to where we're going to name a single.
I like the idea of Australia because I heard Australians are just tough. That's like
of course,
stereotype.
that's where I was going.
There's some mean motherfucker that we can.
You guys in Australia, Australia, have spiders that are huge, snakes, other insects that are huge, like scorpions. That's an insect still, but scorpions.
Dingoes.
Dingoes, that's scary. Dingoes, which are wild dogs.
Don't they have snakes?
I said snakes. We're at 5. Anything else that's very dangerous, that's scary? Do they have alligators?
They have all kinds of garbage there.
They do have alligators, right? Or crocodiles, either one, whatever one it was.
I think alligators are the small one, crocodiles are the big ones.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I don't know which one they have, though.
I'm not sure either. Honestly,
Australians,
you have to hit us up and let us know.
Yeah, but I know for a fact the spiders, snakes, fucking insects, I know those are a thing. Because I seen a video, it's a snake in somebody's toilet.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. The plumbing.
That's Florida, too, though. Imagine Florida. Florida on a continent.
Florida has some nasty stuff in it.
You guys are continent-wide Florida. Props.
We're into it. We'll definitely come by whenever we can. Just let us know that there's love out there.
Even though there's scary shit, I don't give a fuck.
We don't care.
In 2 seconds.
We don't care. Alright, we got another question on here? Alright, what's the best guitar center you've ever been to? And tell the ones that you've been to so we can shout them out.
Holy shit.
By the way, would you say Guitar Center is the biggest
music
influence on your music purchasing? Like, if there was anyone out there?
I wouldn't say biggest influence.
I hate Guitar Center for what they sell.
Yeah, okay, look.
Or where else do you buy stuff besides Guitar Center?
Guitar Center is my biggest influence for the gear I've played. But
because they have all the guitars in there.
Because they have cool shit there, yes. I've only played a Music Man Majesty in Guitar Center. I've only played like the best drums I've ever played in my life in Guitar Center.
Would you switch to a Music Man Majesty?
Oh yeah.
Alright, if you go to Music Man Majesty, I'll go from Music Man to Kiesel bass.
Okay, no disrespect to Kiesel whatsoever. At all. I love my Kiesel.
Kiesel's fire. That's why we're talking about switching.
I would never give up the Kiesel. If Kiesel wants to give me a thing to where like you can only play Kiesel powered, and I'll be like, fuck yeah.
You're not even mad.
No.
Not even mad. That's like a.
But the Majesty is perfect. Sadly.
It's a really good guitar too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the saying.
Not sadly. Actually, greatly. John Petrucci's.
I would say, if you had to say anything though, the fact that you have a Kiesel right now is.
I think the Kiesel's just as good though.
Proof
just in a different way.
Where your money goes.
Oh yeah, of course.
The Kiesel's worth it.
Because okay, first off, people that want to play guitar, having a good guitar is not going to make you sound better or play better. Your guitar sounds better than your old guitar.
Wait. We're way off topic.
What? We're talking about Guitar Center.
Okay, you were on topic. My bad.
I understand we're talking about Guitar Center.
Right,
I'm just going on a tangent.
Anyways, I can pick you up where you left off if you like.
Well, you were saying
a good guitar is not going to make you sound better.
Not going to make you sound better, but practicing does. Okay, because your hands are the thing that are most important. That's it. Because if you suck at guitar, the guitar doesn't sound like shit. No matter what, I can make a Squire sound decent. I'm not gonna say I can make a Squire sound really good because I'm not as amazing as John Petrucci or something. Because he would make it sound amazing. That's how good, fucking, you have to be to make anything sound as good as records and shit. Like when you hear like, whatever, anything. When you hear anything that sounds really good, the reason why it does is because the person sounds good. Do you agree, David?
I think if John Petrucci picked up $100 guitar,
it sounds amazing, right?
He could make that thing sing. But the same stroke, if you took a beginner and gave him John Petrucci's guitar, it would sound like a piece of crap.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's kind of for me, it's like you have to have time on good instruments. But if you're not mastering the other instrument, matter of fact, I would even say there's like a point where you get to where you need to switch, and there's a point where you get reliant on the craft.
Yeah.
Because I know with my I'm actually, I have them right here. All right, let me pull it up. This was the first real semi-expensive bass I bought. This is a decade ago when I was joining jazz band. I had like $100 bass. This is
show them the back.
Show them the back. Woo! I put that on at a show. I've been playing a long time doing this stuff.
That was like nylon strings on it.
I can show you what it is. It's just flat wound.
Flat wound strings. They feel like nylons if you know what nylons are.
So like this guy, this was like $300, but I got it off recommendation, and it sounds and plays just as good as what I would say like the actual Fenders play. It's a classic vibe.
Yes. Basically,
Squire. It's a goofy old bass, and then I put some foam on it to give it that like muted sound. I'm trying to get like that.
Basically, that bass
Motown vibe
is like 3 times cheaper than his bass that he actually uses all the time.
Like 10. A little less than 10. Like let's say 7.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bongos cost like $3,000 brand new. He got it at Guitar Center for $2,200 or something, whatever. And then that thing.
Along those lines.
He could probably sell for like $200 or something, $300.
Yeah, but I would never sell this because it's lasted so long. I can go and buy another one for $300.
No, I'm just saying. That's
also,
the difference.
I don't know if you noticed this, but you see this right here? This is custom.
Oh yeah, no, this guitar is fine.
You see the cats?
There's like I've seen the cats. Yeah. There's a bunch of cat stickers on the fucking knob.
Oh gosh, it's not in the lights. It's not gonna come. You can kind of tell there's colors to it. But basically, they're cats. They're all just a bunch of cats.
A bunch of stickers of cats. Also, there's a cat on the back.
Alright, what is it trying to prove here?
Okay, we're back to Guitar Center. The best Guitar Center I've been to.
Hold on, we were on a subject there. I fucking lost
it. It's the Guitar Center. That was the original question.
We were going through the basses though. Why?
Because you can play a bass like shit, and no matter what, it would sound like shit.
Oh, I was saying like you get stuck on them though. All I was gonna say to finish that up was that like if you start playing a really cheap instrument for too long, you'll start making that cheap instrument work a little too well, and when you go to a nicer instrument, you don't know how to adapt.
That's true. Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, that was the last thing I was gonna say. Now we can go on to Guitar Center.
The difference. One more thing. The difference is that a nice instrument feels smoother when you know how to play. But if you don't know how to play yet, you're not going to feel like you can play better on it because it's still going to feel weird because you can't play yet, which is the thing. Because I can make when I play when I play because my girlfriend has a fucking Squire right? And I can play that thing, and it feels pretty normal.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a guitar. It doesn't feel like, oh, this feels like cardboard because it costs $100, and then
it's not like an alien thing.
Yeah, no, it feels like a guitar. It just feels kind of cheaper, whatever. Who gives a fuck? And when I play the Kiesel, it's still a guitar. So like, if you can't play, then. But okay, Guitar Center.
Best Guitar Center. So where we come from is California. Where we've been to the Sacramento one a lot. There's one that's about 20 minutes south of where we come from is Stockton, favorite. San Francisco. I've never been to.
San Francisco is my favorite one.
Oh, I've been to the LA one though. I've been to an LA one a couple times.
Wait.
Right next to Skips. Oh no, not Skips to Sacramento. It's right next to the.
There's 2 LA ones for sure. Right?
Oh, there's all kinds of them. They're all over the place.
I've been to an LA one. I've been to the one on
There's the Long Beach one.
The one next to Hollywood.
It's in Hollywood. It's right next to Vic Firth or something. What's that?
Yeah, there's hella shit next to it. There's like a drum place right next to it.
Yeah, it's Hollywood though. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Hollywood's
that one's pretty good too,
for me to hear though.
Yeah, no, that one's not even that bad. I don't know how long it's been since you've been to that one, but I went to that one like 2018.
I guarantee 19. If I went back, besides the coronavirus stuff, 19. It would be the exact same.
Yeah, I mean, you thought it was bad?
No, it was really cool to go to that Guitar Center for one reason, is because if you would just walk around, eventually you'd find someone who was there as a professional.
That's true. I didn't think about that at all. I thought that the selection was pretty nice.
When I went there, the selection was excellent, and there was actually a guy there. Like, I'm trying to think of my favorite one.
Like, the size wasn't great, but they had good stuff.
The used gear is awesome.
Yeah,
they get it from everywhere as well.
That's the thing too.
But
LA
anyways,
has a lot of people too.
I went there once, and there was a dude, and the thing that I used to steal was the amp settings. This is way back in the day.
I never thought about that either.
I would wait and I'd watch someone go and play on a bass, set all the settings up on the amp and the bass,
and then use those.
And then put it down and go walk somewhere else. And I'd go pick up the same bass, not touch a thing, play it, and then try to figure out why he had it like that.
Yeah,
and that would blow my mind. And then
there's another thing.
That's a good tip.
There's another thing.
What?
Okay, look. If you hear somebody playing at Guitar Center and it sounds amazing and you play it and it doesn't sound good, it's because they can play hella good.
Well, what's funny is the only time I ever got caught doing it was in the LA one.
Yeah, someone was like, "Hey, you trying to make it sound like me?"
Well, you know what it was is the bass that he was playing. I guess it was at a shop that's made down the street from his house in Canada.
Oh, crazy!
So he was just like, "Why'd you pick up that bass?"
Yeah, and
the truth was because he had just picked up the bass, and I was just like, cool. I don't know. And he was just like, oh, they make it just down the street from my house. I'm like, oh, that's crazy, that's nuts. And so he started talking to me about some stuff, and he was just there to sign contracts and play a couple shows.
That's so tight.
And it was just cool because I got to talk to a guy, and I actually got to ask him.
Man, I'm so angry. I didn't think about that. I wasn't looking at people to see if there was somebody I would know or something, or like where I would think that they would be like.
Just know a little more than you.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask earlier.
Used to guitar stuff.
Have you ever taken your instrument and had someone better than you play it?
Yeah.
That's the craziest feeling, right? To watch someone take your instrument.
That's the reason why we know about the hands, because we can tell. I'm not saying the hands thing because I think that I'm better than everybody else that plays or something. It's more like I've been in situations where somebody plays my guitar or plays on the same rig I'm playing on, and it sounds hella good. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
It's something about the way you're playing.
Yeah, I'm not doing it right. I'm not like, because it's in everything. It's in your left hand. It's in your right hand. Like how you where you put it when you chug. It needs to be like how much pressure you put on it. Like if it's right over the pickup or if it's like right over the bridge, or when you stop it, you stop it.
You can give me like live action advice on something I've been researching lately is. I'm recording bass tracks for this album coming up, and I want to make sure my bass tracks are perfect when I send them in, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at normalizing, so it's like I'm taking things and I'm quantizing them, and then I'm normalizing it. But here's the thing is, I just found out, like, you should set your settings to the normalize at the normalized top of it would be -3 instead of 0, because a 0 would be a clip.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that. So it's like there's a lot just to learn about the basic programming. how much energy do you think people who are learning should spend on learning how to the back end of their music compared to the front end of their music, like playing, practicing compared to editing and
for a fact, I think the way you can make your music sound better is if you play it as good as you can first, because editing is bullshit. Like editing is great, but if you don't play it good, it's gonna sound like
less is more.
Basically, less is more. When I do mixing, I try to use two plugins or something, so I don't have to like. If it sounds so bad to where you have to like put.
We're back.
I know exactly when it stopped. If music sounds so bad. What was I saying?
Oh no, you're losing it. You said if you have to use a bunch of plugins, something's wrong with the original stem.
If you have to use a bunch of plugins, the original stem is shit. Exactly what David said.
And you know what's funny? My process is a little different. I have a lot of gear in the front end where I'm playing.
That's what I'm talking about. That's good.
All that stuff needs to be going, because if that setup is bad, and then I put it into the computer,
it's gonna sound like shit.
It doesn't matter what the other processing is.
So you have to make it sound good as it's recording. You can't be like, oh, this sounds kind of like shit, but I'll fix it. That doesn't work.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was thinking the way that I kind of build a sound from scratch, I almost feel like I go all the way from, and I'm speaking as an amateur to a professional, basically. But it's like you start from, don't quote yourself, you sell your service, dude. Alright, ready? So we're talking 0, right? You have just the stem, the sound of the instrument, right? And then for me personally, I have like the gate and I have the processing and stuff. So I'm going all the way through it and setting it the best I can off my normal, just off the cuff. You know what I mean? And then once I finish all of it, I almost feel like I go back over, and that's the wave that fixes it. Because when I start going back, I'm going, okay, this is what all these settings are at. What can I optimize? And I'm almost like, okay, if this is, like, let's say I do the amp last. I can go through the amp EQ and be like, this is too much, this is too little.
Well, that's perfect. That's using reference to
but it's starting at the beginning, working to the end, and then working back to the beginning.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And then listening and then seeing if there's any edits to make one last time across.
See, like, if you're, no matter what you do, because everybody's mind works differently and everybody's different, so like, whatever process you have to use to make the end result better, just do it. It's basically my
That
thing.
is the end means.
Yeah. Like, when you're sending something to somebody for mixing, or you're recording something yourself, or whatever is happening for you to mix yourself, make sure that whatever you recorded, you're already gonna be like, oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Let me make it sound a little bit better. Let me mix it. Don't let me transform this into something great. No, it's like, let me put it into the song at a good level and take out the low end. Like, that's what you should be doing. Not like, let me put 11 cuts on it so it sounds good.
When I started doing sales, there's like a sales thing I heard in a book, and I liked it, and it was like, good sales isn't, it's not alchemy, it's gold painting. It's like same thing with mixing. Like a good mix isn't turning a terrible track into this amazing
it's not
track.
shit to gold. It's silver to gold.
It's you just go through and you just get rid of all that dirt, and you're just like, oh, there's a little bit of gold in this. Like if I just get rid of all the extra noise and if I can process it the right way, I can really bring out the shine on this one part.
Everything's like that at certain points once you get to higher levels. Like saying like Amazon, if you want to go something so fucking normal, like if they don't optimize shit, it's just not gonna work out right, basically.
If they're not growing, if they're not going to grocery, if they're not going to now Amazon cars, Amazon cell phones.
So if you think of that like with your playing and with your music, it's okay to start off not knowing how to play, because that's everybody. Because the reason why you're starting is because you don't know how to play yet. I
think a big wall that people hit is when they go for, because I think a big thing that we're experiencing in our generation is people are starting to record on their own, and they're going, this isn't what I hear. When I play this, I can hear what it sounds like, and it's not this. But what they're realizing they're not getting is that your ear is hearing different than
this guy's ear.
The little magnet on that guitar is hearing.
Yeah, like You're basically like, okay, look, imagine yourself going to a NASCAR race, and you're in your Honda Civic, and everybody else has their fucking NASCAR cars, and then they've done it so many times, and you're like, what the fuck? Everybody's going 200 miles per hour, and I'm going 50 in my Civic, in circles, and I still think I'm gonna crash. It's the same shit. All these guys are going at fucking 3,000 RPM, and you're going at 500, so like, you can't expect to be like on the same shit. Eventually, like 10 years, 15 years.
After so many laps, you might get a little more confident.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like after you're doing a couple laps, because those guys in Honda Civics too would still dust you. You would be like, if they had Honda Civics, I would be beating them or on the same thing. No, those fuckers drive those cars that fast all the time, so they don't give a fuck.
In my personal experience, I would say it took me about a year before I recorded anything good on purpose.
Okay.
Like, I would stumble upon things, and I was like, oh, that worked.
I still do that, though.
But that's beautiful, right? When you stumble on something. But for the most part, I couldn't have a riff that I liked and plug it into a computer and come up with a tone that I liked.
That's the thing.
Or come up with the right sound until maybe a year into it.
Yeah, you start finding, I don't know, patterns, routines.
Shout out G Coco taught me to produce.
G Coco?
G Coco.
G.
Cocoa, like
G Coco, Cocoa
like
Puffs.
cocoa butter, yeah. Cocoa Puffs.
G Coco.
G Coco taught me how to produce. I still play Dota with him.
3 beers in.
3 beers in. We're feeling it, guys.
This is my show, Max, like I was saying.
Dude, this last episode, I did some messed up math.
What was that?
Okay, so we were talking about how many hours you put into guitar. And if I'm not mistaken, you said you've been playing guitar for 10 years. Mm-hmm. The first 2 years, I think it was like an average of 7, but you said it was closer to 6.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
So if we were saying 6 or 7, and then the rest of them you said like at least an hour a day, right?
Yeah.
For it would be 8 years, but I said 6 years.
Oh, okay.
So I took your whole thing and divided it by 8 years. Not 10 years.
So yeah, it's more like.
But I was just embarrassed that I did math wrong on camera.
That's hard to calculate on the spot.
Without writing down, and I was.
Yeah.
This is one of my more sober podcasts, folks.
Yeah, that's true too. But I mean, still, at the same time, either way, you can't really right now I'm trying to really get it, but I'm thinking that's around 6, 7, 8,000. That's a long jump, exactly. So. Around that's probably where I think.
I could find out exactly this podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Would you give me a chance to redeem myself on camera?
I can. Give me the pen, and I'll talk.
I gave you your own pen too.
I don't know where it's at. I know you did.
Well, it's somewhere. Hold on.
We have 2 pens. That's how cool we are. On the way here, I
have a third one somewhere else.
I also lost my pack of fucking.
Look at this. This is like a cheat sheet from chemistry. Show the camera how complicated my cheat sheet was. Folks,
are you gonna focus?
You can't because there's no light, remember?
It focused.
Oh, did you get it? Alright guys, we're going to try to do this math equation in person.
Holy shit, David.
I know, that's a really complicated cheat sheet. I'm pretty sure it's allowed to.
Enzymes is the only word so far that I know. Oxidized, another one. Competitive, I understand that.
Well, guys, you can go back and pause and take a look at my cheat sheet and think if I figured it out. That was high school too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you never told me your best Guitar Center. Mine is San Francisco. You're saying about something about the other LA one, not the Hollywood one.
No, it was the Hollywood one that I found that guy at. That was probably my favorite one, just for that story.
That one's really good, though.
The other one I really like about the LA was I knew a guy who worked there, and
that one's probably better. I just didn't have an experience like that.
If you live there,
that's true.
If you live there and you go there a lot, it's not as much of a thing, and no one likes going there.
No. The thing about Guitar Center, that's what I was saying. Guitar Center isn't the thing that I appreciate the most from any type of music.
It's just everywhere
producing
like that.
thing. It's just so commercial to where it's just
we did go to the Portland one up here too. Here's the thing: I was always taught if you had to buy 10 cases for all your guitars right now, Guitar Center would give you the deal
because it's commercial, like I was saying.
But to be real, we've had shows that some of the guys throwing the shows.
Oh, and the rentals
was a part of Music Box in Stockton.
No, it's local. That's the thing. The type of guitar shops, Music Around in Stockton. Is I think the one that you're talking about.
They're a real shop where it's real people, and I'm gonna
shout out to them. They're really cool.
I'll go there if I can.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Yeah. The Guitar Center just has better stuff because they have so much more. Like they have Music Man.
Let me put it this way: I go to Guitar Center and treat them like shit.
Yeah.
I go to Music Box, and they'll treat me like shit.
Yeah, like fucking Guitar Center's Food for Less. And then fucking Music Box is like the local grocery store with the little Asian lady.
I can tell you right now, if you go into a Guitar Center, maybe at best half of the guys have made their own cables and stuff.
Oh yeah.
If you go into that Music Box, especially in like Stockton,
almost
every single one of those dudes, they know what they're doing inside out. Anyway, so let's try to calculate this real quick. So 2 years of what were we saying? 7 hours a day.
Yeah, 7 hours a day for 2 years.
So 7 times 365 equals 2555.
Cool.
2555.
Almost 3,000 hours in 2 years.
All right.
2 years, right?
That's an A year.
Oh, 1 year.
Damn it, we're doing it again. I think I did 7 times 365.
Hold on. High school. All of high school, I was playing kind of a lot, actually.
For me, it was all like middle school. I would play like 11 hours a day. I would do a lot.
Yeah, no. Okay, so we're probably around the same, just different numbers. So like, okay, let's do 4. So 3. Okay, so we're back. We don't know when it ended, but also looking for David's pen.
No, not right now. We're fine, dude. I don't really give a fuck.
But what was the hours?
Oh, we figured out. So Howard is actually at 10,950 hours. He's almost at 1,100 hours of guitar.
That's probably you too, though.
Oh, yeah. Don't even count me. I don't even want to know.
That's around the same thing, though.
I probably did 11 hours for the first 2 or 3 years.
So 2 or 3, that probably averages out to my 4 years
Till
of 6
about like
hours.
Sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
And then I would slow down. I was so crazy that at school I would bring my bass and I would practice in between periods.
I would practice while I was in the class.
See, I never did that.
Fuck the teacher. That was mean.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I've never done that. That's huge balls. That's big balls to do that.
Most of the time I did that, and then I also had guitar class, and that whole class I was playing.
Hey, by the way, guys, we got our first video age restricted.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Congratulations to us. I feel like we graduated now. We're finally age restricted.
Bubble dash stash. I'm so Jesus.
We're all lit. Do I have another beer here? Did I drink the rest of my beer?
Did you open one of these too, or is this?
Oh, this is it. This is mine.
Cool. So okay, we're gonna do one more question. We're gonna end it for you guys because I don't even know how long it is anymore.
It's too long now.
But
we gotta save some juice.
Out of anybody, David, anybody, who would you show our band? I also want to know what song.
I would want to show someone who I think would like us.
Of course.
Nick Swartzen.
Who's that?
He's a comedian.
Okay.
I think he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen him
Has he been
wearing.
on Joe Rogan? He doesn't count.
Maybe. He very maybe well have been on Joe Rogan. He played like
an LA guy?
he played. Yeah, he's an LA guy. He's like an actor and some stuff. He was in Reno 911 for a bit.
Oh yeah, he had to be.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sure, right?
But anyways, I like Nick Swartzen a lot, and I know he's worn a Periphery shirt.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I think he would actually listen to us, like actually like us. If I had to pick a song, it would be off the new album. And honestly, some of the songs that we just finished writing, like probably the most recent, are some of the fucking heaviest. Ooh.
I'm ready for your bass, Dave. It's a real thing.
I'm ready for some bass too. I have my rig set up. I'm so excited to start putting this down. I'm literally just spending a little extra time researching, putting in some stuff. Have you heard the track I sent to Delise and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So you kind of know the field I'm working with then.
Yeah, are you going to use that tone for the album?
I think for some of it. A lot of it's going to be automated.
That's true. Yeah.
I might have you back over and maybe we can sit down and automate some of the levels of
what is going on what.
And so we can have more different levels.
Once you get the once you get the tracks down, man, I'll come and fuck with that.
Stems.
Yeah.
All stems. Once I get it set on here, it'll go right to this guy, and then I'll take all the stems, put it in the drive, and then from there.
This guy was a laptop, by the way.
This guy was a laptop. I record everything with the laptop. I actually unplugged from the wall, so there's no circuits anywhere. It's running off a battery. It's completely hum-free, and then I use that into an actual software.
This guy goes in depth.
I say save it in FLAC and then put it onto.
I record into a laptop
hard
anyway,
drive.
so.
We actually use a laptop for a lot of our shows.
Live, we use a laptop. The same laptop I usually record.
I went cabless for a long time.
We used. Oh yeah, we can talk about our show thing a little bit. Okay, basically a show rundown right here. I'll go very fast. We go bass into fucking interface. We have a claret interface, a fucking 12 input, I think. 16
Focusrite claret, beautiful.
Yeah, so amazing. It has this preamp section that's so nice. It's analog. He goes into that, straight into a VST. You got the wireless system. Wireless program. He goes straight into a VST. He was using a guitar amp and an Ola England fucking guitar cab. His
That's way back in the day now.
His Hesu cab, the 2x12, whatever. The IR for that. So it's a guitar for the high end, and then for the low end I use a Chris Lord Algae bass plugin. And that boosts the load a little bit more, and we mix them together, and then we send that to front of house, and then I use an Axe Effects. Gabe goes into the claret also. I use the CLA effects plugin for his delay and reverb. And we have backtracks, and that's it. Nice.
That's it.
Solid.
I think this episode was a good episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the background.
Wait. What the fucking shit? I am so fucking angry.
Are you kidding?
Are you fucking kidding?
Is this a joke?
This is a joke.
You guys are still watching this? Oh,
we can't even remember what the fuck we were talking about.
Alright guys, listen, you guys need to find something else to do.
Oh, I would show Lil Wayne, I remember.
Oh, you would show Lil Wayne our music? I love that.
He might be able to play guitar pretty good by now. But at first he couldn't play at all.
We're gonna DM these guys and show them our music, and we'll show you what they respond with next time.
We'll put it on the fucking green screen.
Peace.
Going too fast.